Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Switch. Red, done.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Trubisky. He's got Burton here. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing here, Trubisky. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
He'll buy some time right. And he's going to go down again. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Anthony Barr. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Mike, 58, right there. He's tired of you. He's tired of us.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
The 47-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
The catch made by Miller. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd down now, it's Cohen. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Pretty sizable gain of 8 that time on the keeper, but now it's 4th down. Now Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Mike 58, right there. Here we go, here we go.
Rosen to throw on third down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down. So on fourth down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bears take over.
At their own 18-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Cohen. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Switch gears.
On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. And he's got Miller. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Check. Block 54. Let's go. Let's get this ball back to the offense. Ran.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. That means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to the air, Trubisky after the pick 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention. He deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you got a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by John Johnson. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rosen. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, but it'll be second down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And just a quick hitch route there, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
180, 58, come on. Hey, check.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On second and 10, Rosen. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now it's Rosen. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And it's second down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Rosen. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 22-yard line.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
First down, a run with Cohen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a stoppage. There appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home with a big one.
He's got the hook up to Miller. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
Let's go, fellas.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. Caught by the tight end Ertz. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Trubisky leaves with Montgomery on the draw. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 43-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Trubisky. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch this flat. Watch this flat. Watch this. Ran. Check 52.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And Miller will pull this one in. He's got it for the Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears have retaken the lead. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the lead is now 10-7.
Vikings 7.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Rosen will throw. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. A gain there of 21 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And now it's Rosen looking. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
You remember me? Let's go, man.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a dump off here complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Trubisky. And now he'll turn and off his back foot. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big game.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Christian Kirk, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now on 2nd and 13. Trubisky looking deep for Gabriel. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Here's Trubisky to throw. He's got his tight end, Burton. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Trubisky will throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now it's Trubisky. Now this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Trubisky now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Trubisky now off the bootleg. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let's go, let's go. 18. Mike 54. Hey, man.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking deep for Gabriel. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. He's going to have the 1st down past the 20. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
On the carry, it's Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Here's Rosen to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Catanzaro now for the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They're going to need some therapy after this. Check.
They start the drive with Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, it's Rosen. Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now the second down throw on target. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 49. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
At the 50-yard line.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 22 and a first down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 29-yard line.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
I'm coming after you.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Catanzaro's kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
What we got?
The first throw for the backup Foles. And Diggs has it. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Now Foles. And he's able to find Diggs. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Foles. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
The tackle there by Fabian Moreau.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. There's Foles. Setting up the screen for Cook. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he connects with Ertz. And he He's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They're going to look to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart football.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run with Montgomery. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Montgomery. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now it's Trubisky. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, right at the 15-yard line here.
At their own 15-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Back to throw. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 22 yards there, a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He's back to throw. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Coming to you, coming to you.
They'll look to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Good job.
His guys take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
A loss of a yard brings up second and 11 at the 20-yard line.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Bears, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.